who can shoot it from the outside.
And Bill, that's great for Wisconsin. Decker getting going from outside. He's really a slasher. Now you got to come out and guard him. He gets to the paint, makes things happen for the Badgers.
Kaminsky trying to D up here on Towns, who is almost on
left in the tournament at 100 in this league. And you look at it, that's why Towns says, wait a minute, I can score against the best. Let me go again against the worst.
And but right to August with the left hand, Vistoria with 13 points.
That'll show you what a change of pace can do. You know, he went kind of easy, then all of a sudden a quick move caught the defense off balance.
Back into Towns they go. Other side of the block this time. Man, Towns, the second free throw miss for Notre Dame. 1 out of 2 for Grant. Notre Dame's in the bonus, by the way. 4-point Notre Dame lead. Kentucky trying to answer here. Back to the big man. Towns. Rough it up. August, a foul. It counts.
Big beast inside Towns, who's been just going to work on that post.
Towns has 23 points. 15 in the second half. Ulis dumps it down to him. And Towns right at the basket.
How long they are outside with Lyles coming out. Watch for them. Yeah, this is what they're going to start to do, just pop it into the paint.
Got the roll. Personality.
And they won that game the other night. 297 Texas came in on his
That's
phone.
right.
That was fabulous when he was talking about that yesterday. Ulis' phone almost blew up.
Towns.
You know, Vernon, they haven't backed down, which is good.
Jumper off the front rim. Rebound. Cauley Stein.
Let them get into a running game.
Ulis crossover.
But they have the size at each position. You know, here it's glaring because of Hampton's lack of size versus Kentucky, but guards are big.
Pretty.
Yeah, just not a whole lot at that number. Vernon's got a good form, good release, rotation is pretty good. And here's that. Let's see, is it back to a man-to-man for a little bit? That's where you're going to have a little bit of problems because of players like Towns, who is just too overpowering.
With the left hand.
Play just over an hour bus ride away from our home court. I would pick that any day. And with the way that Big Blue Nation travels, I mean, yesterday we saw it at practice. There was 10,000 fans in attendance just for practice alone. This place was filled with blue, even in the first session today. So it certainly does feel.
Yesterday, didn't waste any time. Right now he's matched with Willie Cauley-Stein. If I'm Willie Cauley-Stein, I take him on the interior. I try to post him.
Tied for the 4th time here in the half on the three-pointer by Qualls.
Look at the size differential. I know he's a high riser, Qualls, but that's a lot of size.
He's giving away about 6 inches to Cauley-Stein. A switch off now, and it's Antoine Bell trying to guard Cauley-Stein.
That's like you trying to guard him.
Nice move.
Inside and 2.
Really.
And that's a little hitch on the way up.
A little smooch.
A little smooch.
In downtown Indy.
Towns. This is his shot.
Too deep.
Away of that. 5 quick points for the Florida Gators. Towns. Whoa. That was an elbow.
Finney Smith. Drives in. Spins. And denied once again. It's Towns. Harrison on a kick to his brother Aaron. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Towns gets a touch out high. Turns with the left hand. He's special.
But it's Kentucky ball. Those things are only reviewed in the last 2 minutes. Towns, hook shot's good. Well, you let him get paint under his feet and get that deep. He has now. They just let a ball screen and the floor opened up wide for J.J. Frazier. Nobody came over to block or challenge that shot. Towns really threw his shoulder in. It scores in close. And you get that. That's only his 2nd field goal of the night, but it brought the house down and it brought a timeout from Kentucky.
Georgia sticking with that zone.
There's a good move.
Good job to get the ball inside. You know, Booker had a shot out of that corner. The corners draw the big guys and then drop it off.
Harrison had a moment. Forte got out on him. And now the hook shot goes by Towns again. That's his move in the lane. In the post, they have spread the floor. They're getting into side pick and roll action. And Georgia is getting into the lane almost at will. That's 36 points in the paint for the Bulldogs. Here's Towns, and he has been the man in the second half with moves like that.
Mentioned before, the Kentucky has led since the get-go. They've had 11 games this season without a deficit. This will be number 12. Arkansas sticking in there. You just never know. Arkansas has beaten this Kentucky team 4 of the last 5 times in 3 consecutive games.
They still got 2-3. It's got a little wrinkle of 1-1-3. They do have a 1-3-1 they show as well. Forcing Towns to make plays here. Look at him just shoulder his way in.
They didn't have school today, and they have been fired up since we walked in at 4:30.
Here's Towns working on Gavin Ware. Just backed him all the way to the rim.
Miss has a tendency, Sean, to struggle against length sometimes. So, formidable task today for Bowers against those Kentucky bigs. Here's Cauley Stein out to Harrison.
I think he's going to really struggle to score when he has the ball in a post-up situation or even catching it right off the paint. But where he can dominate, and Simeon Bowers has got to be active, is getting on the offensive glass and trying to get putbacks.
Towns on the post-up. The jump hook is good. Money.
Now Andrew Harrison back in the rim again. Yeah, this is going to be now the 3rd chance.
And a great job by Towns.
Both times.
Got to stick him out a little further.
Kentucky's taking a page out of Wisconsin's book in the first half with all these offensive rebounds.
This is what I was waiting for, Grant. Let him go to town with that little hook.
There it is.
Or jumper.
Jumper this time.
And then if I give up a lane, if I give up an angle, somebody's going to be over the help side and rotate over. That's what has made Kentucky's defense so elite this year. That trust and the belief that their teammates got their back if they make a mistake.
There's Towns with that face-up jump shot, knocks it down.
The NIT was back in 2009. Frank Martin just trying to build. Paul Biancardi texted you and I both and said he's got a nice recruiting class coming in this year. He's getting his guys into the mix now, so things looking up in Columbia. Karl Anthony Towns has all 6.
So guys took it against the big guys on the inside, right to the goal.
Approaching the midway point of the half. LSU still up by 3.
They're zoning right now. Come on, went to the zone.
Boy, that's a nice move as well. Pete.
Pistol Pete. I looked at his numbers today coming over here. Average 44.2 for his career. Average without the 3-point shot. And the getting in a winner's circle. Can it continue tonight?
They left it at 34 on the shot clock with 1:40 on the game clock. 1-point game, LSU with the lead.
I'd go to Karl Anthony Towns inside. I would go to him inside. Get him the ball right there. Get the ball inside to the big guy.
And the hook shot's good. Has shown the defensive end's impressive.
Well, they've come out ready for a fist fight, and that's what they have to make this game in order to win it. It's got to be 5-on-5 in the half court and a fight.
And there's the jump hook for Karl. Kentucky and good defense by Georgia. Here's a baseline jumper for 3. Too strong. Cauley Stein in the right spot. Now it's Towns with a hook shot. Got it. For position down there, though. He's drawn some double teams. He's had some pretty good moves underneath. Couldn't finish that one.
Needs someone else to help him out, though. He's had a good first half.
Nice hook.
Difference is Joe Lunardi's recent bracketology has 6 teams in out of the SEC.
I mentioned earlier, when we get together Saturday, it's going to be halfway through the conference season. Or it's going to
Had to work hard, but they got it to go down. Back the other way for Kentucky. We talked about their defense, but they're scoring 74 points a game. A lot of teams try to slow it down against the Cats, so that's a pretty impressive number considering how teams play them. Towns spins and gets it to go. Karl.
Notre Dame didn't even have to face the half-court defense.
He was looking inside. Karl Anthony Towns, it goes and 1.
6th season in Tuscaloosa. Towns spins and 5. season for Kim Anderson. Gil Caesar lost it, though. Third turnover by the Tigers. Kentucky with a size advantage, although you can say that in just about every game that Kentucky plays. They're the biggest team in the country by far. Towns roll into the ring. Right post up. Against that big body of D'Angelo Allen. A lot of contact there in the first 9 minutes of this game between the two teams. Back to the post. They leave post in with 2 personal fouls, and Towns able to slip between defenders. So Missouri, that's probably a small victory for them, considering they're not losing that battle. Right?
It really is. And I think they've seen some things that they've been successful with, and for Kentucky, it's an opportunity to go inside the locker room and say, okay, we've got to be much more efficient at scoring inside the paint. Too many missed opportunities, too many missed shots around the basket.
Andrew Harrison with 6. Towns against Rosberg, flipped it up and got the roll to close the first half. KARL Anthony Towns.
I know last year went to the last second against Connecticut, but this is a deeper team, more talented team. Their bench competition is unbelievable what they can bring in to compete with the starters.
Towns with the jump hook inside. Money. Hale going to try another 3. That one's strong. Rebounded by Cauley Stein. Aaron Harrison pulls it out. Inside to Towns. Wheels and punches it home. Around.
John Buchergrass, Seth Greenberg were here for the halftime of the first game. They'll be here at halftime of our game. Booch and Robert Flores will be here after the game on SportsCenter. And Dick Vitale will keep them around too. Nice move off the glass, pretty.
Had a real tough go of it at Alabama. Tell you what, folks, keep an eye on Anthony Grant's team. The Alabama Crimson Tide, I think, can make some noise this season.
They go inside, but look at the white jerseys all over.
Hand. Ole Miss hasn't had much success here in Rupp Arena. Only one win in Rupp. That came in 1998. Kentucky with the basketball first. Towns, strong move inside. First basket goes to the Wildcat. To Kentucky. It's like a one-and-done night to this point for Ole Miss on the offensive end. Boy, that is a big-time move.
Covington is a deadly three-point shooter, but he's also a great rebounder. Has 4 tonight as Grant misses wide right.
It's a little bit bad judgment by Grant that time, trying to take Cauley Stein and shoot over him.
Take it down into Towns. Little spin and very deep.
More pressure. What a great fake. Terrific fake and then turning sideline side by Devin Booker to get away from that double team.
Into Towns. Over Mathieu. But Sean, you take out the dunks, it's only 43%. So Steve Frankowski hits his first from behind the arc. Towns kicks it back out.
Columbia doing an excellent job right now surrounding and swarming.
Baseline turnaround, pretty shot defensively.
The length, the athleticism, the ability to block shots down low, and it was nowhere to be found on that drive.
They work it inside. That seems too
shots down like that, and I'm sure that that's got to be one thing that Brian Fish can take away from this.
That is a confidence boost.
My goodness.
To leave your feet. So you leave the floor. That your feet go with your feet go with you.
That's a good point.
I have never once in my life left my feet.
That would have been a first ever experience for you had you done that. Devin Booker
He's had trouble knocking down shots in the early going this season. Hey, a little old school from KARL.
I think we got to still find some spots to score, but I love how we're battling. Right where we want to be. All right, thanks. Yep.
And isn't it interesting? And I believe Mike Bray when he says he loves where they're at. I'm not sure I'm in with Coach Calipari when he says he's okay with where they're at.
No, I think Coach Calipari kind of showed his hand by saying we're not nervous. If you're not nervous, you don't need to say so. And these guys went in with an adjustment, and one of their adjustments was going.
Willis checks Grant, kicks it to the corner. That's Vastoria. Too strong. That was a good look for Notre Dame, but Vastoria got a little too much on it that time. Dumping it down inside. Here's Towns. Plowing his way in with a jump hook. Zach August with 12 points.
Marvel at the patience and the persistence of that Notre Dame offense.
August has missed just once. He's 6 out of 7. He's had a number of highlight reel dunks and a strong finish at the rim there for his 12 points. Back inside they go. Trying to get August fouled, and it's just too easy in there.
Entitled to it.
I just wanted to make sure the player wasn't injured. That's why the stoppage of play. Kentucky ball, down 4. Jumped out to a quick 5-point lead early in this second half.
Great denial by Grant right there. Didn't let Harrison get the ball. The play was called for Harrison up top.
Towns back in, going strong. Boy, that just looks unstoppable.